Hello, my name is Aida Cruz-Farin. I'm the GT coordinator for Franklin Public Schools, and today we're going to be talking about math acceleration. Today will be just a brief overview of what the math acceleration process is. So what is math acceleration? If a student meets the criteria for math acceleration, he or she is accelerated to the next grade level. So for example, if a fourth grade student meets the criteria for math, the fourth grade student would go to the fifth grade math class during their scheduled math time. Why is math acceleration important? The best method for meeting the needs of gifted children is through a flexible combination of readiness grouping and acceleration. And if you have a student that is well beyond 2 to 3 years beyond their grade level, then acceleration is an option for them. It's very difficult to differentiate if the student already knows the content. It's really about meeting the student's needs. So it's important when we think about math acceleration that we have a set criteria that we're looking at to ensure proper placement for math students, and that it guides our decision making when we look at students. So think of a student that is performing at least 2 to 3 years beyond their peers. Research is noted, and there are state guidelines that really set criteria that we look at multiple sources of data. One of the sources of data that we look at is their SAI score. A student that is 130 or 140 and above, students that score in the percentile range of 98 percentile in WKCE and in MAP scores and above, and students that are predicted to perform at least 80% or above for the following year end of the year assessment. We want to ensure that students that are skipped to grade level, that they have all the necessary skills to be successful in that year. So we want to make sure that there's not any gaps in learning. And this is a really important piece of assessment to ensure that their skill level is ready for that grade level acceleration. Other considerations are obviously teacher recommendations, work samples, and evidence of high performance in the classroom. Not only that the test data shows that, but that they're performing at very high levels in the classroom, and that they're social emotionally ready to move on to the next level, that they're responsible, that they're able to interact with their the next year's age peers. And really understand that this is a committee recommendation. The committee is made up of a building principal, the teacher that's recommending that student, and then the teacher that would take on that student for the following year. Also the GT coordinator and the parent recommendation really is important because they know their student and they make the final decision in the end. I'm not sure. And why can't I wait to refer them till next year? I'm not sure where they're at. They kind of meet the criteria. Why wouldn't I wait until next year? Well, if a student meets criteria and solidly meets criteria, it's really important to refer students in spring to ensure scheduling and class placement for the following year. It's very difficult to accelerate students in the middle of the year because of scheduling reasons, and really is the best for students to get into their class peers at the beginning of the year. It is extremely difficult to challenge a very high student, as we know as classroom teachers. If the students already knows 80% of your material in the spiral curriculum, it's really important that we meet their needs and we continue to stretch them. And it's really important that they challenge and learn new material. Like I mentioned with everyday math, it's very difficult to challenge students because of our spiral curriculum. So now you're ready to refer a student. Now what do you do? What's the process? The first process, if you have any questions, you can contact me and I can give you further information and more detailed procedures to support you along the way. But if you know and your student meets the criteria, the first step is really referring the student. I have an attached referral form, and what you need to do is fill out the referral form and send that to me at Ben Franklin before April 8th, as then I can contact you about further steps. Once I receive the referral form, I'll be sure to contact you in April and explain the next steps. One thing to really make note, if you are unsure about a student and they meet some criteria and not others, I ask that you don't contact parents at all, that you allow us to have this conversation, and then I will be in contact with the parent for students that meet the criteria. If you have any parents that have any questions, please refer them to me. So then once you fill out the referral form so that you know what the process is students that meet the minimum criteria will be doing some further testing. We will be, the teacher will administer the end of the year test, and if the student meets the 80% criteria, then I will be doing further gifted assessment. Then the committee will come and meet and discuss all the data points and make some decisions and come up with some options. And then the GT coordinator will contact the parent, and then we'll come together again as a committee and make some decisions in the best interest of the student. If you have any further questions, like I had mentioned, this is a brief overview of the process. If you have any questions at all, please contact me. My home school is Ben Franklin. The best way to reach me is email. You can also call me and leave a message. But really, this process is about meeting the needs of students, where teachers and coordinators, administrators, and parents have a true voice in the process.